Hey, welcome everyone. Pretty nice. Looks okay here. So here we go. And we are now ready for another tech show. So everything is all right here and here. So hey, welcome everybody. This is the live tech show number 74. This is Tuesday, April 25th, 2017. And of course, we take a look at the questions that we've got this week. So this tech show is every Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And we, of course, 1900 UTC. We try to answer to the best of our knowledge. And of course, there's a chat room. So if you need a Gmail account to access the chat room. And basically, we go through the questions. So the way that it works first is we go through the questions that I get in the email. So helpwithyourcomputers@gmail.com is the place. Here you will have answers to your first questions. So these are the questions that are sent to me through the week and so on. And after the questions that I have from email, we go to the chat room and answer questions that anyone could have about what is happening in Windows and technology and whatever you're trying to do, and see if we can help. So welcome everybody. I see that people are in the chat room. Hello everyone. And then by the way, like I just said in the chat, I will answer the questions after I answer my questions I got from the email. So a little later on during the show. So hey everybody, welcome aboard and hope you enjoy today's show. Hey, show number 74 already. That's pretty interesting when you see that I'm at almost 75. Next week we'll be at 75. You know, getting closer towards the 100 mark at some point. So hope everybody enjoys today's show. And of course, if you've got a question, you can send it to helpwithyourcomputers@gmail.com. Donations, very, very important part of my me doing this. I don't make enough money off of AdSense and all of that on YouTube to really be able to continue on. So donations are extremely important for me. A lot of you have come through, and thank you very much for all of those that donated. If you haven't donated, but I helped you in any way, you know what? Why not think of a little something? Patreon.com/radio and computers. There you can actually set a goal of how much you want to give me every month. It's automatically deducted every first or second of the month. Or PayPal donations if you have a PayPal account, because you need a PayPal account. And you don't need a credit card on PayPal. You can use and link it directly to your checking account. So here you can send the PayPal donations at the Yahoo email that you see on the screen here. So hope that you guys enjoy the show. And think about it. Helps me really, really a lot. You guys have no idea of how it helps me, because without donations since last year, I would probably not be here today, because I would just need to do only tech duties. So this is water, by the way, flavored water. And so thank you for everybody that already donated. And if you haven't done so, why not think about it? Okay, so we're going to start with the questions from the email. And, diverse questions of all sorts. Very, very interesting to see. And if we look here, so I'm just going to go to the email. I haven't opened it yet. So we've got some emails that came in today also. So we'll go slowly to the questions one by one. Okay. First question from Matthew. Matthew says that he stumbled across my show by accident a couple of weeks ago and really enjoyed it a lot. And Matthew has also, from the first day, given a little something through PayPal. So thank you very much, by the way. So the question he's got, Matthew says that he's not very good with computers, and there's a lot of things he doesn't understand well. And his question is if I could explain why Some people would prefer one of, a different web browser. And he mentions 4 in his email, which is Firefox, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and Opera. And he says that for many years he's used Internet Explorer. And basically, very, very interesting to answer this question. So, okay. The thing is, a browser is kind of a personal thing, very, very honestly. And through the different years, basically what happened is that there were different moments where one browser was more popular than any others. Now, Internet Explorer, okay, it started a long time ago. For those that have been on the internet for a while, and the late 90s, a lot of you probably remember using Netscape, which was a web browser. Very popular web browser, by the way, it was dominating. Then came along Internet Explorer, which Microsoft pushed in Windows versions, and it literally pushed Netscape out of the browser ballpark, because for a long time people had a browser in their Windows operating system. They couldn't see why, or they didn't see why. And even today I still see people saying, why should I use another browser? It works and it does what I want. What happened is some browsers appeared over the years: Firefox, Google Chrome, and Opera. And at some point, there were moments where Internet Explorer didn't work well or had some issues. I remember Internet Explorer 7 being an horrible, horrible Internet Explorer version. 8 was kind of not that great. So there was a lot of issues with these browsers. They were slow. So slowly people started looking at other, alternative browsers. Firefox came out on top for a while. It was very, very, very popular, and almost dominating for a while. Google came up with Google Chrome. Suddenly, game changer, Google Chrome started being there. And basically, the Google Chrome browser is what is dominating today. And the reason why is simple. Is because through the years, different browsers were better than others at doing specific things on the web. So people started using other browsers. And one of the things you got to know is, once somebody is on a browser or on a software or on a Windows version, it's extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult to move them out of a specific thing. So slowly but surely, Google Chrome came out top because it handled better many, many things. And it was really, the one that could do everything. It did better than others in multiple things. And I'm not saying that it's the best browser because it has flaws. For example, it uses too many resources on the PC. But still, Google Chrome and all the extensions that were available for Google Chrome made it very popular. So it's extremely a personal choice. So today, Chrome is like 57%, 58% of all browsers on the internet, on the usage of the internet. And so, it's really something that is personal. So some people use Chrome, some people still use Internet Explorer. What they have in common, they're all web browsers. They all do the same thing. It's a software that shows you web pages when you go on the web. That's it. That's what these are. And Microsoft Edge is the latest because it's the one that was, it's a new browser that came with Windows 10. So it was, it's kind of a new thing. It doesn't have a lot of market share right now. Will it ever take off and become a major browser? I don't know. I think it still needs to be, tweaked a little bit. But whatever version of the browser you use, it's fine. I get this all the time. Somebody saying, "Hey, it's always, some tech guy or somebody somewhere saying, hey, basically,
we have, you're using Internet Explorer, it's no good, you should move on to something else. I don't agree with that type of doing things, or that type of, let's try to make this better because of this or that. It's, if the browser works and does the job that it needs to do, who cares? Just use your browser that you prefer, and that's it. And some people like Firefox better for certain aspect of the web browsing, for extensions, for the way they've been using it for years, or they're used to it. Some people who use Opera. Some people like to be a little out of the box, so they use Opera or some other browser that we don't hear as often. Google Chrome dominating because it does the job well, and I like Chrome for one thing. With my Gmail accounts, everything synchronizes, and I do like that. I use a lot Microsoft Edge personally, and the reason is because I like it. I think it does the job well. But I still have more than one browser, because that's the second part of your question. Do people have more than one browser, and what would be the advantage? Well, there's no 100% browser, meaning even though most browsers today do pretty much everything, you will go to one little point here or there where you go to a web page, it doesn't open up well, so you'll use another browser to do it. It does happen from time to time. So that's pretty much the thing about browsers. Dig on the web, it's really a personal thing. I do not like tech guys that say, hey, you got to use that browser because that's crappy browser. It's really a personal choice. And yeah, having more than one browser can be helpful for certain things. And hope that, if something goes wrong, you can at least go on another. One of the things also that I've seen sometimes is you get a virus or you get a malware. It infects one browser but not the other, so you can at least go on the internet, do something, or download tools using some other web browser than the one you're using. But web browsers, it's up to you. Whatever you use is fine. And I don't really want to go to. I don't want to go to the fact of one web browser is better than the others. I like I have all of those installed on my main machine, by the way. Here, these 4, and they each have a positive, negative point. They each work really well, and I sometimes go through one or the other. The main reason I have all of these browsers is because it's easier for me. Instead of, for example, using Edge, I have multiple YouTube accounts. So if I want to move in from one to the other, what's happening is that I have to switch accounts all the time. By having all 4 browsers here, I have different YouTube accounts on each browser. So when I upload to the Windows channel, I use Edge. When I upload to the Insider channel, I use Firefox. If I upload to the radio channel, I use Opera. And Google Chrome has another channel. So like that, I don't have to switch all the time. I just remember which browser is on which channel. So I hope it answers your question, and thank you for following us. And thank you for your donation, by the way, that you given us. It's very, very much appreciated. Okay, virtual private networks, and also, it will complete something of that. I got an email today about VPNs also from Steve Martin, where he's also talking about, the VPN setting in Windows 10. So here's the thing. First of all, about VPNs. Now, yesterday I did a video explaining that Opera has a VPN in it. It's integrated in Opera, so it's easy to use for that. But I will have more videos on VPNs coming in the next few weeks. We'll take a look at a few VPN services, and also that setting in Windows 10 where you can actually set up a VPN. So that should come soon. But in general, the question that I have came this week from Mark. Mark is located in Germany and really enjoys my live shows, and says to keep up the good work. Thank you very much. So he says, why is a VPN? Because he says he's heard a friend of his use a VPN all the time. Says to stay secure, you should use a VPN all the time. So what is a VPN and why you should use one or not? Here's the thing: a VPN is what we call a virtual private network. What it does is it creates a tunnel, an encrypted tunnel between your computer and the host computer you're connected to. So that's the first part of a VPN. That means what's happening between your computer and the internet on the other end, nobody can see it. It really shields you against anybody that would like to see what you're doing. So that's the first positive thing of a VPN. Second side of a VPN is simply that you can actually connect. Many VPNs let you choose where you connect. So you can easily connect yourself to another computer in another country. Some let you choose where, some don't. It depends on the VPN. So when you show up on the internet and you do something, because everybody has an IP address. When you're on the internet, you have an IP address. So basically, instead of using your IP of your provider, which gives a lot of information about where you are in the world, you actually have an IP address that is from somewhere else around the world. So it kind of identifies you as being somewhere else where you're not. So another added security, they don't know where you are. And the idea behind also they don't know where you are not only adds security, but for some services, what is cool is that you might use that to see content. For example, the big US networks, ABC, CBS, when here in Canada we want to see videos on these networks in the United States, it always says you can't view it because you're not in the geographical region that they are serving. So you can use a VPN and log into a computer in the United States. And then you will see these videos. Why? Because now it thinks you're in the US. So there are many different services. Another one is the BBC. The BBC streams a lot of stuff that you can view around the world, but there's a lot of stuff that is locked to the UK. I would like to see the BBC content from the UK. I could log into a VPN, log into a UK computer, and there I would see those videos or that audio that I did not have available before. Some people use VPN for Netflix, though, gotta say, it works less and less. Netflix really decided to crack down on the use of VPNs for their services. So as their list of VPN grows, what's happening is that they are blocking you from viewing content when you use a VPN. It all has to do with, copyrights and stuff like that, which is very, very complex. But, a VPN is a great way. And I'd say the number one reason why somebody uses a VPN, privacy. It's secure. You're not identified as really at where you are. And the encryption means that wherever you are and whatever you do, it just, keeps you safe. The positive and negatives of using a VPN. Well, the positive and negatives is that, of course, the positive, I've already talked about it. The security, the fact that you can show up as if you were in some other area around the world. So you're really kind of not really, they don't really know where you are. Things like that. And of course, to access some content from different countries. The negatives of using a VPN, a lot of VPNs slow down. A lot of VPNs slow down your internet connections. And the reason why is because your computer now does multi-hops on the internet. So if you connect to a web page, instead of being your computer, your ISP, then wherever it needs to connect through the web to get to that place, now it adds an extra layer. It adds other connections. So say that you go on Google and and when you type google.com, you get 3 hops on the internet and you're there. Well, adding a VPN might add you to 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 stops before you're there. And the reason it does that is also to add security. The problem is, the more you add links in between you and where you're going, the slower the internet gets. So sometimes a VPN, not always, and it depends on the VPN also that you're using, but sometimes a VPN will slow down your internet connection. Sometimes a VPN will be slow at specific things more than others. So that's pretty much the negative side. Paid VPNs are often better than free VPNs also. You got to be careful. Some free VPN actually kind of steal your data, basically. And so that's, mostly what's happening. Is it possible for someone to trace or tracing someone that through a VPN or using a VPN? Well, we've seen cases, of course. If you look at law enforcement, bad guys know that VPNs make them safer at what they're doing. But bad guys have been caught because they've basically been monitored and they've been able to go back and retrace what's the original IP of where you are. So technically, it's safe to use, but people with that really want to could technically find or retrace back. Now that is a hard thing to do, and the VPNs, some VPNs allow you to have so many different areas to go and hop through the different places, that what happens is that it gets extremely difficult for anyone to trace it back. There are ways also to make it difficult to trace back by going through servers at specific areas. For example, if you go and hop through servers through Russia, well, one of the things that you'll notice is that if you're in the US or if you're in Canada, and law enforcement would want to have that information of tracing you back, there are countries where it's not as easy as others. Here in Canada, in the United States, many European countries, there are like some regulations that make law enforcement help each other, make things better, make things easier. But there are countries around the world, and Russia is one of them, where linking and having that information is almost impossible. So depending on where you go, yes, you can trace somebody, but not always. And somebody that is really good and makes the internet connection go through a lot of different servers, you can easily lose trace and not really know where a person is from. And one question I just saw pop up, that because we're talking about VPNs, is that your internet service provider will know that you're using a VPN, yes, because it will see the type of connection you're making. It is easy for anybody. I was talking about Netflix earlier. Netflix knows that you're on a VPN because they get a list. Another example, YouTube knows you're on a VPN. One of the big things that people were trying to do to kind of fake their YouTube monetization for a while was, hey, I'm going to log in through VPNs around the world and check out the ads in my videos. Well, that doesn't work because YouTube will not monetize videos if you're using VPNs. And if they know that you are trying to game them by using a VPN to click your ads, they will ban you from AdSense for the rest of your life. You'll never be able to have an AdSense account again. So it gives you an idea. And, VPNs, different types of VPNs are available. You've got paid VPNs. You can actually pay for a VPN service, which is often the best VPNs you can get because they are usually faster and better and have tons of options that you can do. There's free VPNs. Those you got to be careful. Some are okay. Some have ads. Some redirect you with all sorts of, crap stuff while you're surfing the web. And finally, there's VPNs that are integrated into certain services. For example, if you have the Opera browser, it has a built-in VPN. You can actually be secure using just that browser. It's not complicated. All you have to do is turn on the VPN, surf the web, and you can turn it off if you want at some point. So, but VPNs, mostly, it's about security and making sure that, people cannot snoop on what you're doing. So, pretty much what that is. Okay. I've got another question, and before I just go, because I see people talking in the chat, and I see you guys talking about a cumulative update available for Windows 10. I did see the cumulative update just before. I had to go out, and when I came back, it was a little didn't have a lot of time to set up before we started the live show. But there is a cumulative update available for Windows 10. And I'll be talking about it later today, telling you guys what exactly it fixes or not. It is probably a bug fix, much more than anything else, for the Creators Update. So, and it seems to be on Creators Update only, if I'm not mistaken. So later today, I'll have a video posted about the cumulative update and what it has and what it brings to Creators Update. Okay, Microsoft May 2017 events, and the question comes from Frank, that is a regular contributor, and he was wondering what I know about the events and what will be announced at these different events. So the May 2nd event, which is next Tuesday, by the way, and of course, I'll have a roundup of what they said and what happened next Tuesday. So May 2nd, we're going to have an event where we know one thing. It will focus on Windows 10 Cloud a lot. And we'll learn more about Windows 10 Cloud with that event on May 2nd. So that's going to be an interesting thing to see. We know that apparently there would be some hardware launch at the May 2nd event, and that is very, very curious. That we don't know much about. Somebody has even said that they've thought that they would announce a Surface Pro 5, which I don't think, personally, I really don't think. But anyways, May 2nd event. Also, there's a lot of focus on education in there, so that means it will have something to do with Windows Cloud, maybe devices running Windows 10 Cloud, and everything for education. We know that what we've been hearing is that maybe they want to get some devices out that will be basically focused
for really the students and the educational market. We know Microsoft is trying, because Microsoft in the past years has lost a lot of the educational market. It lost it because of Apple's aggressiveness with iPads and all sorts of little things like that, Chromebooks, and they want to try to get a big chunk of that educational market back. So we'll see. Anyways, it's going to be interesting to see, and I'll be watching. It all starts, and it's live on the web, by the way, and it all starts Tuesday morning. It's 9 a.m. Eastern time. So that is 1300 hours Universal time. And of course, I'll be checking it out. I'll be, of course, looking at that event, and I will be posting an update of what was announced. Also, what will be announced at Build? At Build, we think the major keynote will be a lot about Windows 10. First, they'll talk about Creators Update. Then they will probably talk about here's what's going to come in the next update. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a name of that update. But for now, we think there will be some features that are coming that will be talked about and announced. And of course, at Build, they will talk about different things. They will probably talk about Xbox. They will talk about virtual reality stuff, HoloLens. So we'll see. We'll have, of course, more detail. That also will be broadcast live. And that also, I will have a full roundup on the channel about what was said and what we will know. And with the announcement of Build, that's where we expect that the insider previews might have new features finally. That's going to be quite interesting to check it out. Okay, ransomware. This question comes from Andrew. Andrew says, hello. I have been watching your videos for a long time. Really enjoy your channel. And it's one of a handful of channels that I actually watch every day. Questions that come to mind about ransomware, because he says that all of his files on one specific PC that he uses are encrypted now because of a ransomware. And he says he looked at my video and went to that web page that I had recommended with all the tools, no more ransomware, something like that, that help you decrypt. Now, what he says is that it seems that what's happening is that there is, on some ransomware, no tools to decrypt. So one of the questions he's got is, what if I wait? He says, I did not. So what he says here is that he doesn't need his files necessarily now, and even if he'd wait a couple of months, it doesn't really matter, as long as eventually he can get the files back. Do you think waiting could help in decrypting the files and not having to pay the bad guys? So basically, the idea of waiting could actually pay off, because usually what happens is at some point, the bad guys, or there's reverse engineering that's done by also the antivirus companies and security companies. A lot of the older ransomware stuff actually have been reverse engineered and decrypted. So if you wait a couple of months, it is possible that a tool will show up that will decrypt the files that you have encrypted. So that means that you would have had basically somebody somewhere, either they would find the bad guys and get the tools, or reverse engineer it and get the way to unencrypt. But basically, the the idea of waiting could pay off, and you could wait a couple of months. You know, I don't know how valuable your. I got it valuable. You know, if I hope your files are not too valuable, because paying the bad guys is something I hate to say to somebody that you should do. So I'm not sure it's a good idea, but you know, hang in there. If you can wait several months, yes, it's possible that a tool will show up to decrypt the files, and that's totally possible. Totally possible. I wouldn't be surprised. So we'll see, anyways. And apart from that, you know, there's really nothing much because these encryptions are extremely good. So, you know, it's almost impossible to find a way to decrypt them at all. So hang in there and, you know, cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. Another question coming to us from, okay, from Stefan. Stefan says, hello, I have never used Linux before. I've been hearing about it. A friend of mine says it's the coolest thing on the planet. What should I do? And how should I test them out? So how do I test a Linux distro without installing it? Because he says his friend told him, oh, you can try it without touching your operating system. And he says he's kind of scared at doing that because he really is scared at maybe breaking something in the computer. So, is it possible? Of course, yes, it is possible to try a Linux distro without installing it. And how would someone install this on, say, a USB thumb drive to boot from? And what are the versions that you have tested that are interesting to look at? So basically, Stefan, you can test pretty much every version, every distro of Linux on your PC by putting it on USB thumb drive. And from the USB thumb drive, you boot your computer from the USB thumb drive. So you insert it, start your computer, choose USB thumb drive to boot, and you will be in that Linux distro. Two types of menu will pop up. One will be simply loading the operating system. It's just going to boot up in Linux, and you'll be there. And it's going to give you a possibility to install it if you ever wish to. Some will actually ask you from the start, try it or install it. Of course, you don't want to mess up your Windows. You just try it. That does not mess up your Windows. That does not touch anything. It will not touch anything on your hard drive. It really runs from RAM memory, and the only drive that it can access is that thumb drive that you have plugged in. So it's, you know, it's not really a scary thing to try out a Linux distro. I think that you should absolutely try to boot from a Linux distro. It is kind of cool to test them out and have fun with that. You can also do it on DVD if you want. Okay, there are live CDs, so you can either on CD or DVD and boot from a disk if you want. These are really, really, really cool because it doesn't touch anything on your PC, and you do have a full operating system, full working operating system that you are going to test out and see if you like or not. So these are really cool to do. And another part of the fun of having Linux distros that you can actually boot from is the fact that you can actually use them to troubleshoot a PC, for example. Sometimes, you know, you're wondering if the problems are with the hardware on the PC, or maybe with, you know, RAM creating some problems. Well, you can actually run a Linux distro, and if it runs fine with no problems, no hiccups at all, well, PC is probably okay. You know, many times I've been able to diagnose that, you know, RAM was faulty, or that maybe there was a motherboard issue, because you could see all the error messages popping up
while he was trying to get a Linux distro to work, then you know that the computer, the hardware, has some kind of issue. Now, the best tool to put that in put that on a USB thumb drive is sometimes called something's called a Pendrive Linux Universal Installer or something like that. If I go here, let's just check it out. I'll show you the page if we can. So here, Pendrive Linux. Yep, here it goes. So this comes from a pendrivelinux.com page. Basically, this is the website you want to go to, pendrivelinux.com. Here, you've got something that's... Sorry, everyone. I just sneezed in your face. Okay, so when you're here, you can actually download the Linux USB tool, and it's the Universal USB Installer, UUI. So you download the Universal USB Installer, and what you need to do here is to get the version of Linux that you will be using in a distro. So when you click that file, it's going to give you a list of all the distros available that exist. You just have to choose the distro that you will have, that will be using. And once you do that, you gotta just download an image of that distro. So to give you an idea what versions I have tested, I've tested a lot. Right now I'm testing one that's called Endergot or something like that. It's a very weird name. I'm trying to remember the name all the time, and I never remember it. Entergot or something like that. ANTRGOT or something resembles that. But mostly what I've tested, common distros, Linux Mint is a nice one. Ubuntu is a nice one. What else do we have? One that I've also liked for being lightweight, Elementary OS is a nice one. And there's tons of distros available. If you start looking for, just type, top 10 Linux distro or something, you'll get web pages that are going to actually show you an amazing amount of distros available. And so if, for example, you download Linux Mint, what you do is you get that Pendrive Linux Universal USB installer. So you download Linux Mint from its website. Once you have that image of Linux Mint on your PC, because you'll download an image of the software, you use that Pendrive Linux Universal USB installer, and you choose Linux Mint in the list of distros. Then you browse to get that Linux Mint image, and of course make sure that it's supposed to see your USB thumb drive already plugged in. And that's all. You just click the start button, and it's going to actually create a bootable version of that distro with a USB thumb drive. And of course, you can download any of these images and burn them on a DVD, which will give you a bootable DVD of a Linux distro. I think everybody that enjoys playing around with computers should try it at some point. It is kind of nice to see Linux. My 17-inch Toshiba that was given to me by a client is mostly used for that here. I try all sorts of distros of Linux, and it's really cool, and some are easier to use than others. For somebody that never used Linux, I think Ubuntu and Linux Mint are two that are very easy to use. I think that, if you just know a little bit of your way around, it's fun to play with, and they're not too difficult to understand. Some distros are harder than others to understand also. So Linux, it's worth it to take a look. It's always cool. Hey, chat room, hello there. We are here, and I've got a little bit more stuff happening here that I will be answering. Question from Tommy Viper Boy. And so, hey everybody, nice to have you here. Tim Robinson, Grateful Pearls, Douglas Elliott, Sean Robinson, Everything About Windows. What else do we have? What else do we have? Cycler. Hey there, Cycler 39. Sean Robinson, Grateful Pearls. Am I Bobby Burgess? Am I missing anybody? Say hello, please. I want to say hi to you. And nice to have you all here. And pretty cool to have everybody here. And if you guys can give me just 2 seconds, we'll go see if my cat is outside waiting for me to bring him in, because he's been outside for about 2 hours. And so just gonna check out if, by the way, he's at the door. It's starting to rain also. So we'll check it out here. Since it's starting to rain, I would not be, I think, yeah, he's coming. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. A little wet cat because of the rain. So here he is. So I don't know if he's going to come and join us in the living room. And here we go. So, sorry guys, just had to bring the cat inside. So he's a little wet. It started raining. It wasn't raining 2 hours ago, but it started raining a little bit. But he's not too bad, you know, because he's got, I live at the top floor here. So when he's outside, he can actually sit in the balcony just below and wait there, so it doesn't get wet. You know, he can wait there, and when he hears me opening the door, then he comes over and says hi. So he's right here, but I'm not sure he wants to come over, but we'll see if we can have him. So, what else do we have here? Hey, Matteo Cirillo, nice to have you here. Says that he's tried Linux, and but he'd rather stick with Windows 10. So that's quite all right, Matteo. Adam Guardado, hello there. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Everything about Windows. My question, do you think there will be big changes in the next major Windows update, for example, redesign? And when will we see this in Insider Previews? So here's the cat saying hi to everybody. There will be some changes. There will be that people everywhere thing that's going to be there for the social side, integrating all the chat and everything with everybody, and the way to communicate with all of your contacts through different apps. One thing that we know is that there's going to be Project Neon, which will somewhat redesign a little bit of the Windows operating system, but not that much. I don't expect to have a big change. But the Project Neon promises to really be something nice. Maybe like tiles could be refined a little bit instead of being really totally square. They could have like rounded edges, stuff like that. But I do not expect a big redesign. One part of what's going to be nice to see in the next update will be the settings panel. We have control panel, we have the settings panel. The thing is, the control panel and the settings panel are kind of the only part in Windows 10 that make it very, very weird and makes us feel like we still are on 2 different operating systems. So what other parts of the control panel might be moved to the settings panel slowly but surely, because we know that at some point we're going to have a Windows, at some point we're going to have a control panel is going to be gone and everything will be in settings, but we're still far away from that. I don't expect that to be in for a long time, I can tell you that. Okay, hey Albert Zappa, nice to have you here. So, and for the new features in the Insider Preview,
I think they are going to show up. I think they're going to show up after build, which is May 10th to 12th, something like that. So I think that's going to be interesting to see. I think that's going to be interesting to see what we. But I think the first build with something significant that we can try and play with, will occur around build. So mid-May, I think we'll start having some features for sure. And you gotta think that what's really amazing is that now we know that Microsoft is going to push updates. The next one, Redstone 3, is for September. And so that actually means that, we'll be in May, June, July, August. We're actually going to have a lot of things that are going to happen in a short amount of time. So that's going to be interesting to see. And, March and September every year also is what they're thinking we're going to have. So it's kind of a very, very interesting moment, I think. And I think in a couple of weeks we'll have 3 weeks. 3 weeks to a month max, we're going to have some first new features in there. So, what else do we have? Just going to check here. I've got some questions that arrived through. What else do we have here? Noel Downs says, "Hey Gilles, I'm having a problem which has started happening. None of my desktop icons programs will open in Windows 10. When I click on, say, Google Chrome icon, the blue circle spins as if Chrome is going to open. Nothing happens. Sometimes a program tries to open but then closes instantly. Can you help?" And you're on 1607. I would do a scan for viruses with that kind of behavior, just to make sure that you've got nothing going wrong here. You can maybe try to scan. I don't know if it's going to work, because if your desktop apps don't work, it might not want to open. Use Windows Defender or try to install, if you can, Malwarebytes, of course. When did this happen? Do you remember installing something particular? Do you remember if it happened after an update? A lot of details needs to be checked here. Try to remember when it started, if you have installed something new. That's the first thing. If you did, uninstall it. Did it get an update? Did you get some kind of Windows update and it started doing that? Okay, maybe use System Restore, go back in time. If it's been happening very recently, System Restore. If you can't have it working there, you can hold down the Shift key, click the Start button, click Restart, and go into the Advanced Boot options. You'll be able to run System Restore from the Advanced Boot options. If it doesn't run now within Windows, it should run on the Advanced Boot options. So check that out. If you can. Try to go back in time with the System Restore before, try to remember when it happened and see if you can do that before, because if really something happened, that's what I imagine. Something happened, I can tell you that. If none of that does anything, and you've got nothing else you can do, I think the only thing you'll be able to do is do a refresh. You'll have to reset your PC into the settings, or reinstall using with the Media Creation tool, get a Windows 10 version, create a USB thumb drive and boot and reinstall from there. But start by thinking when this started happening. Obviously something's wrong. Check your right click on your taskbar and go into the task manager, and there in the startup tab, if you can go there, just disable everything. Disable everything and see if it changed something. And does it do that on every desktop app? I mean, you say Chrome, but does it do it if you try to open another browser? Does it happen with every desktop style program that you have? I don't know what you've got installed, but if you got CCleaner, does CCleaner work normally? Make sure it's not just a issue because you're talking about Chrome. Make sure it's not just Chrome that is a problem. Try to find a common ground. What are all desktop 32 apps not working, or just specific things? So it's something to check for, to make sure that it's not very specific. Very specific. Okay. Hey, David Walker. I don't know if I said hi. I got a little blank. Okay. Viper Boy is asking a few questions. So first off, related to Netflix, can I watch Netflix on the tablet, desktop, PC with the app? Do you got to download the app for PC, tablet on Google Play Store? As well, can you watch it on TV? If so, do you have to have a smart TV, or can it be a regular flat screen? If you can watch on a regular flat screen TV, do you know how to hook it up? Or tell me how I can find. Okay. Netflix, you can view on any device. A tablet, there's an app in the Google Play Store. On iPad and iPhone, there's an app for Netflix in the iOS, the Apple App Store. On PC, if you have Windows 10, there's the Netflix app within the Windows Store, but you can also view it through your browser. If you wish not to install an app, you can actually go to netflix.com, just sign in with your user account, and you will be able to watch the movies through the web browser if you want. Now, on a TV, you can watch it if you've got a flat screen. Of course, if it's a smart TV, very often there's a Netflix app in the smart TV. But if you don't have a smart TV, but you do have a flat screen, that means it probably has HDMI ports. So that means you got to check out, does your PC, does your desktop computer have an HDMI output? If it does, then you can hook up the HDMI from your PC to the TV, and you'll be able to watch it on your flat screen TV. Also, I don't know what tablet you've got, but it's possible that you can actually use many Android tablets and many tablets in general, except the iPad, have a mini HDMI output. You can plug the mini HDMI there and plug it to an HDMI on your TV. You can also get, for Android or for things like that, possibly you can stream it wirelessly using like a Chromecast device, stuff like that. So these are ways that you can have it on your TV. And there's a good chance that your PC, if it's not too old, might already have an HDMI output through its graphics card in the back of your PC. You can also upgrade the PC probably with if you want to upgrade your PC with a graphics card that has HDMI. You probably can do that also. Also, number 2. Say I got ransomware on my PC 2 days from now. Hope it doesn't really happen. Where
to go from there? Are we gonna get my I'll get my hard drive. If not, I would then clean install Windows 10 back and start from scratch, basically, after encountered ransomware. Yeah, basically all you have to do, if you would get ransomware, if you would get any type of problem related to viruses, ransomware, and everything, you just clean install Windows 10 by erasing everything, and you'll be good to go again. There won't be any issues for that. And what else do we have here? What else do we have here? Okay, concerning, just need to basically do, yeah, okay, for that image, like I said, like we said, the creating the USB thumb drive, you need only one USB thumb drive, and with Windows 10, and you can create it either with the media creation tool, choose media for another device, then choose USB, and it's going to create a USB thumb drive, or use Rufus. That what you do basically is you download the image with the media creation tool. You can download the image. It's going to be called windows.iso, and that image will be on your PC somewhere, a desktop, or wherever. If you don't choose where, it's going to go into the download folder, and I believe it might go even in documents. Look at where it goes. It goes somewhere, but it's always called windows.iso. And you can use Rufus. And by using Rufus, when your thumb drive's there, Rufus, you'll have to choose what you're going to do. And you're going to choose ISO for an image. There, you're going to find your windows.iso file that you downloaded with the media creation tool. And with Rufus, you can actually recreate that USB thumb drive, and that's basically what's going to happen. So as simple as that. It's really not complex to do, basically. Okay. Hey there, Atawa Hinta. Nice to have you on board. Really, really cool to see you here. I even got the creators. I haven't even got the creators update. My computer, Microsoft computers are fewer than 2 years old. Yeah, only 10% of people have it right now. That's the numbers we got today after 2 weeks. 10%. That means 9 out of 10 people are not yet upgraded. And the 10% measure right now is telling us that the creators update is taking about the same time as the anniversary update to show up on PCs. So just wait for it. Like I usually say, anybody didn't have it yet, just wait for it. And at some point it will be there. Don't go crazy over that, and it's quite all right. And at some point you'll have it show up for sure. So really that easy. So apart from that, and the next major update, yep, like everybody says, Alex Tuttle, is September. And every year they want to have March in September. So it's 2 updates a year. That's what Microsoft is trying to drive. So it's the way Microsoft wants to do things. So the next one will be Redstone 3, which will probably have some kind of name. Maybe at Build we'll know when. Maybe Build will give us a name or something, but September. So just remember one thing, like this one is in March, and it's called 1703, by the way. We got it on April 11th, but insiders had it in March, so it's okay. That means they say September, but it could mean that's the they could say that um, basically the insiders will get it in September, late September, and the official release will be, early October. But they're already advanced. I mean, it was kind of interesting to see that it is getting there, so fast. I mean, if we look at the insider builds that were already 1,000 ahead of the regular build we had for Creators Update, means that they've been working on it before they even shipped, or the Creators Update. Can tell you that. Shitsa man, hello there. My nationality, I'm French Canadian. And eventually there will be eventually there will be it's going to show up, and don't worry. Like I said, 90% of the people don't have it, so doesn't matter. What else do we have? What else do we have? Well, that update in September will add new features. These big updates are for adding features, modifying the way that Windows works, improving upon certain things. Microsoft gets feedback all the time about what's going to happen. They get feedback from things that people don't like. They have telemetry of things that maybe are not working correctly. There's a lot of things that are changing. So basically what's happening with that is that they make Windows 10 better. So there's going to be all sorts of things like a redesign of there's Project Neon in September that is kind of a partly redesigned Windows, but it's not going to be very different, but there will be new stuff. It's going to look different in some areas. And they need to make this a little more uniform. They need to really make all the menus and the different areas in Windows look much more like it should, basically. So there's all sorts of things they want to add, and there's always new technologies, so they'll improve upon, add stuff that maybe we're not thinking even right now. They will, there's the new people stuff, the people everywhere, that is that social thing that connects us with our contacts on every app and everywhere and every device. So they're trying to make it better all the time, and that these big updates bring new features, and I think it's refreshing and interesting, So basically, what else do we have? Does anyone know why my PC would stop booting from a bootable USB? I used to do it all the time. My UEFI set to boot from USB. Yeah, have you make sure that you remake the USB thumb drive correctly. USB thumb drives can sometimes not work right. It's possible. So what else do the download size in gigabytes? I know that the Creators Update was like something like a 3.9 gigabyte download or something like that. Something like that. And that's weird. Something's not right. Something's not right in your booting, in your BIOS, or in your UEFI mode, Albert. Something's just not right. Some updates, remember that some updates are specific, Grapple Pearls, some updates are very specific to hardware that you have. So some people have updates
of different things. For example, it could be some driver updates. It could be some specific update of one of your devices or the hardware in your system that needed some kind of cumulative update. It's very difficult to know because I don't see these updates exactly what you got, but you should. They're there for a reason, and the important thing is to at least have them working. Hey there, TOT. Nice to have you here. Not bad, not bad. Watching on a 60-inch TV, that's cool. Yeah, not bad. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, 3KB3150513. Just gonna check something here. Check it out here. Let me just check it out here. Okay. KB 3150513. Okay, you've got April 24th. Okay, 3150513. Is that? I'm just gonna recheck the chat. Yeah, that's an update. That update, by the way, has been issued 10 times in the past year. And this is apparently something on Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, 15.11, and 16.07. Basically. It provides the latest set of definitions for compatibility diagnostics that are performed on the system. The updated definitions will help enable Microsoft and its partners to ensure compatibility for all customers who want to install the latest Windows operating system. So basically what that is, that update that you've got, and that actually apparently has been issued 10 times in the past year, is to verify. It's to verify telemetry. So basically, it's sending back to Microsoft information they need in order for you to get Creators Update. So basically, it's to check if you are ready for Creators Update. That's pretty much what happened here. Pretty much what happened here. So it's for that. And yeah, Grapple Pros, guess what? What? Tell me. So and today there was a cumulative update that was released also. Yeah, well, it's telemetry. It's really gonna, it's gonna check your computer, and at some point, and I think the reason they reissue it, because here is pretty much what I'm reading here. They reissue it, really are issuing it again and again because it's modified from time to time to really check. So if you would see it, for example, pop up again, you would basically, it means that they're rechecking again to see if you are ready for Creators Update. That's pretty much what I see. But I see a lot of people ranting about this one because I see here that
people on Windows 7 that do not want to upgrade to Windows 10 are kind of a little pissed off because they say, hey, I'm on Windows 7 and I don't plan on getting Windows 10. I don't want to have updates that do that. And it gets people mad because it's sending his telemetry back, and it all goes back to the same, rant about how privacy and problems with privacy. Oh, cool. You've got Nougat on your Galaxy S7. Congratulations. How do you like it? It does change quite a little bit the way that the phone works. Do you like it? It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Really cool. Apart from that, we have an email from Stephen Mail that says, giving us a little update about what's happening with his computers. Stephen Mail says, on his Dell laptop, finally got it right on the third attempt installing Creators Update. First two, Edge did not work. It kept crashing. And this was after I attempted to update my Insider machine. Then I tried to clean install, same results. I reinstalled the anniversary update that initially worked, except it was extremely slow to boot. Then after about a week, OneNote stopped working. Since I already have a media creation tool downloaded, I tried one more time. Yes, it worked. Everything appears to be working so far. The only issue I have is that all three computers take longer to boot up. Very interesting. I'm so intrigued by your problems. Creators Update. What I see like this morning, and actually I also have I saw a post on Twitter from Paul Tarot mentioning on how Creators Update is rolling out so well. There's really no ranting about it and pretty much no issues about it. It's very, very, very weird what's happening with your computers. On your Dell desktop, on the day of the anniversary release, this computer got it on day 1. Now this time I decided on day 2 to install from Creators Update Media Tool. Installation went well. The only issue again is a longer startup time. One time it said it couldn't sign me in, but was able to correct and sign in. I even got the Windows 7 games to work. Okay. Lenovo desktop. Installed this on day 3 and no major problems, but once again it seemed to take longer to boot up. Does any of your many computers have this startup problems? No. They all boot pretty much at the same speed that it was before Creators Update. But remember, you can't verify the boot up time at least before maybe a week when you boot it up several times. One of the things that happens when we reinstall a Windows version, because booting up to Creators Update is like reinstalling a version of Windows 10. Remember one thing: Windows 10 needs to index your hard drive, which makes it slower for the first few times that you use it. And there might be some things at startup that need to be adjusted or changed in the registry, and at some point it should be better, because none of my computers have a long boot time or longer boot time with Creators Update. Original Windows 10. There seems to be less and less problems as time went on. Initially had some audio compatibility issues with programs, but a lot of these issues were fixed before November update. This is a Windows 10 I had the least problems with. It seemed to be very stable build. Anniversary update. He considers this to be the worst Windows 10 ever. Would consider this equal to Windows Millennium. Even Vista had its problems, but eventually were fixed. So it's very, very, very unique. Very, very unique that what you have as problems. I can tell you that. And if we're at about 95% of people now in anniversary update, and apart from the first week or two that there were some screw ups, including the camera, webcam thing and everything, pretty much everybody works very well on anniversary update. Should not be, you know. So, anyways, you're happy to be in Creators Update, and hope that it continues. You know, I sincerely hope that it goes well for you too, for sure. Because I mean, it's always sad to have a computer that's having tons of issues all the time. It's really, really sad. And thanks for the update, Stephen Mill. It was nice to have that information. Yes, I gotta say, you are right, totally right, Ripple Pearls. That screen is harder to see. Yes, I agree totally with you. The notification screen and the different icons are harder to see with the way that the icons are designed. I totally agree with you on that, Ripple Pearls. Totally agree. That is true. And I'm going to change some of the settings for the colors and the way that things look, because I got some my eyesight isn't the best in the world, and I sometimes have difficulty viewing or reading something on the phone because it's small, and it is true that these are they are very, very very hard to see for sure. David Walker says it's good, no problems like camera mess up on Creators Update. Yeah, everything is really, really going well. Alex Stoll says, did they fix with SSD faster boot time? I see on my desktop. He says seems to be faster than before, so that's interesting. You know, for me, it's pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. And so, you know, I don't know. You know, sometimes the update. Well, Gripple Pearls, I am in the process of posting a gazillion videos of on my Android channel that I don't use much, but I thought, yeah, I got to do tons of videos. There's a lot of videos I got to do on the Nougat. So if you want, just stay put. I'll send you the link to my Android channel, and we're going to I'm going to post a lot of videos. I wanted to post them last week, but I didn't have enough time. I'm going to try to do it later this week. Maybe Friday I'll have time to do it. So, no, thanks, Tim. Much appreciated. Really, really appreciated everybody that are sending any donations or PayPal. Much appreciated. We got some great people that donate regularly. Thank you so much. You know, it helps me a lot, and it's something that keeps me up and keeps my my smile. So, Beautiful Pearl says, you should see me, Joel. I have one pair of glasses for seeing TV, another for seeing computer. Look like I am crazy going from one phone to the laptop. Yeah, I have a problem with my eyesight because of a issue that I had about 10 years ago. You know, I didn't wear glasses before the age of, well, if I think about it, I didn't have glasses before the age of about 40, 41. That's 7 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. And I needed to, I had like one morning I woke up and I was looking at the blue sky, and I basically was seeing kind of a weird, like a weird spot in my vision when I would look at like the blue sky, and I had noticed that if I looked at a straight line through that spot, the line was curved. So I went to see the doctor.
and so they actually had to operate with laser on that. And it turns out I had that on both of my eyes, but I could see it only on the left one because on the right one it was far from the viewing center. But the doctor did tell me that once they would do the laser, I would lose part of my eyesight. It will be I would need glasses, and it did. I really needed glasses after that. So that's when and you know it's my vision is not like totally there with that, and so I have difficulty. When I go to clients sometimes, and these funky letters and numbers they use for the codes. When somebody like last week, I went to a client. He wanted to install a Microsoft Office, and he had, of course, the Microsoft Office key card. And I had to ask him to read it because I have difficulty reading, making a difference between a B and an 8, for example. They resemble a lot, so it's even with glasses, I have a hard time viewing that. And you guys should see it. Actually, somebody once took my phone at the karaoke bar, and he looked at me and said, "Wow, the text and the icons are so big." And I said, "Yeah, it's the only way I can see what I'm doing." So it's really sad, and it's the kind of problem that I got in my eyes is apparently a problem that they really don't really know why some people have that. I'm part of a very small number of people that have that type of problem, but they don't really know. They don't really know why it does that. Yeah, I need a good one. I also need I would need a Grapple Pearls a magnifying glass also. What I'm mostly scared is telling myself, I'm at the age I am now, 48. I got a little bit of difficulty reading some stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, what is it going to be like when I'm 70? It's not going to be that great. Hey Sunbird, nice to have you here. Take care. Everything about Windows, and what else do we have? Any questions? Any questions or anything here? V Forza, to enter that, well, Tim is giving you. You go to Updated Security, then Recovery, and then you can go to Advanced Startup Options, and there you'll see a link to go to BIOS UEFI. Exactly that, for sure. So, yeah. At Inta, I got that around the age of 40. Now, one thing that I did learn, because after the laser surgery, after the laser surgery, I met another eye doctor, and it wasn't the same as the first one. And he told me, you know what? When I met the first eye doctor, I should have waited for before the surgery, because the second eye doctor told me for some people that vision problem goes away on its own. And actually, I had found out, because by the time you meet the eye doctor to the time that you get operated with laser, there's like several weeks that go by. And what happened is I would see that slowly it seemed to go away on its own. And that second eye doctor said, if you noticed that it was kind of going away, you should have waited. And basically, it was a little bit like the first eye doctor didn't maybe do the correct thing. But the laser immediately degraded my vision. So let's hope that it's going to be better. So
Jill, I will turn it back on for you, but Ripple Process, since last week, I can't turn off those annoying pre-video ads on YouTube. Kaspersky used to take care of that, but all of a sudden they are back. Yeah, they actually had they actually had something that happened also on YouTube. I saw that YouTube is now working in a way to integrate the ads so that no ad blockers will ever block them anymore. But at least one thing is that they're going towards 6-second ads, which is not too bad. I never understood YouTube ads that are like 2 minutes or 1 minute long. 6 seconds is not too bad. It's like you just blink and it's gone. And the only problem is that ads on YouTube are what monetizes, and that's what's giving me my money. And always remember, everyone, that when you put ad blockers, you are preventing people from getting their share of revenue, and that at some point it has to be paid in another way. Like I always see, if I didn't have donations since last year, the way that it's paying right now, I wouldn't be here now. And the way that it's actually happening right now is that I'm not really sure for 2018 what I'm going to do exactly, for sure. And just want to mention that at 6 p.m. today, 6 p.m. Eastern, or 2200 hours UTC, we will have the Windows Insider Hour, and we will of course talk about the latest news of Insider previews and everything, and that's on the Insider channel. So hope you can join us. You're watching the Live Tech Show. This is show number 74 for Tuesday, April 25th, 2017. And if you have questions, helpwithyourcomputers@gmail.com during the week is where we are reachable. So you can send your question anytime, and I'll be answering it next week. So 10-minute ad for a 4-minute video, that doesn't, you can't watch that. Nobody watches that. I don't even understand why it's there. 6 seconds. I've noticed on my YouTube channel, it seems to almost only be 6-second ads here in Canada now. And that's pretty much what they want to do, basically. Any news of YouTube advertisers yet? I got about 4 different ads in total. One thing that I know is that it's not the same. And it's not the same because my AdSense revenue this month is the crappiest of the past 5 years, just to give you guys an idea. It's horrible. And, the month of May is going to be a hard one for me because that's my revenue I'm going to get next month. I got the revenue yesterday. I've received the revenue for the month of March, which is okay, but not very high. But this month it's like crazy bad. And so what helps me a little bit is that I did have quite a fair amount of donations from, it's interesting because I get donations from you guys here, but the radio channel, I get many more donations. Seems the people on the radio channel are kind of more, I don't know, they're more willing to give out on donations or for some reason. Maybe it's it's not the same crowd. I don't know. But thing is, YouTube pays people like me by the ads. And just a disclaimer here, because I am not saying to, click ads or watch ads just because of that. What I just say is everybody that is a YouTuber has an AdSense account linked to that. And there's a part of the ad revenue that comes to you. And of course, it goes, depending on the number of views you get, Just to give you guys an idea, my number of views for monetization has been, there's less ads than there was, because the revenue for YouTube ads, my monetizable views, which means every view that there could be revenue coming from it, is about, I'd say about 30% down from a month and a half ago. Something happened on March 25th when they were talking about the ads that were removed because some companies didn't want to, they were boycotting. Since then, it hasn't been the same, and it's very scary because it's a big chunk of my revenue. So when things turn like they are, this, for example, if the rest of the year should stay like this, I'll have to take a very, very, very big decision even before the year is over of what exactly I'm going to do. So it's really, really difficult. It's very, very difficult. What's going to happen, and definitely there's not as many ads as there was before. I do not, I'd be curious to see just one thing. I know more people are using ad blockers. One of the things for sure is that I would be curious to see if ad blockers did not exist. Would there be, a huge difference on YouTube? I'd be curious to see that for some reason. It's a very, very complex issue. And, it's a very, very, very curious issue. I can tell you that. Oh, absolutely. Anybody that donates can block the ads. I don't care. When somebody donates, and Ata Wahinta is a regular donator. She's fantastic. So, of course, it does help a lot. No, I don't want to rant or anything here, but man, it's really something. Okay. Yes, please, Alex Tuttle. Send me email for the next Windows Insider show. I'd be happy to Ripple pearls. Yeah, unfortunately, it's like, and you know what? I think there's all sorts of things happening also. So well, you can donate. I'll just show the page again for anybody that wants to. I'm just gonna take it out here. We're gonna go back into here and documents, and just to show you guys that are watching, that want to give a little something, this is where you can donate. The PayPal, you can send, you just have to own a PayPal account, send to the Yahoo email that you see here at the bottom of the page. You can also be a patron on patreon.com/radioncomputers. It's automatically deducted every month. So, and any amount helps. Any amount helps. So, well, a lot of, Patrick says, don't understand why antivirus program would block ads on YouTube. Actually, it's a thing about, a lot of antivirus now have like a million modules that do different things, including have ad blockers. So it's part of a package, basically. It's part of a package. So, that's, well, that's exactly what Wahinta says. That's also something that, because I've got some generous donators, but the thing is, if I just look at the total amount. If you look at all my channels, I've got more than 1 million views a month. I've got a couple of million views a month, but
in ad revenue from AdSense, if I look at the number of monetizable views, because it's very different. You guys got to understand one thing here, is that there's YouTube views and there's monetizable views. Okay, AdSense gives you monetizable view numbers. YouTube gives you view numbers. YouTube itself, with all my channels, I probably top 2 to 3 million easily of views per month. So it's a nice number. Where it doesn't add up is that monetizable views, the ones that AdSense considers could have been paid somehow by ads, is around, I'd say I'm roughly right now at about 800,000 a month of monetizable views. I'm really close to the million. Yet, it's really crappy, the money that comes from there. Because it doesn't mean somebody clicked or anything, It just tells you, well, there were 1 million possible views that could monetize, but only the CTR, the click-through rate, which tells you the percentage of what's coming in, 3%. I'm averaging 3%. That means 3% of 1 million monetizable views gave me something. Okay? So that's very, very small. So that means 3 viewers out of 100, I got some form of ad revenue. That's very, very small, but that's never changed really. In the past 5 years, that has not changed. What has changed is the amount that you get, the CPC, the amount per click, which is always lowered as time goes by, and it's very, very complex. So to give you an idea, I got 1 million monetizable views a month. 3% of that is giving something by ad revenue, but in reality, I've got easily three times the number of views in real numbers. To give you an idea, you see that in my YouTube views, okay, just on the Windows channel here, okay, my stats tell me that my YouTube views are about 15% more than last month. And last month was like 10% more than the month before. My Windows channel is really, really, climbing fast, but it doesn't get reflected in the monetization. And the number of monetizable views are not really changing much. Hey, Sherry's House, nice to see you here. Tim Brennan, hello there, nice to have you here. Tim, Gilles, do you see YouTube monetization becoming better in the future? I don't mean to the level it was, but better than it is currently. I hope it will, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I, for now, rather am I'm more in a negative mode with YouTube right now, thinking that it won't improve at all. So, things need to be done, and of course, everybody's donation is really, really, really helpful because it keeps me continuing. The donations for now are compensating the loss of revenue from YouTube, but they won't all the time, because it's going down all the time. I was showing Gabriel. Gabriel knows my numbers and my monetization. And I was showing him, the past 2 months how what it looks like, and he looked at me and said, "Wow, really, it's dropped that much?" And I said, "Yeah." It was really, really to a point where I'm totally in a big moment where what the hell am I going to do? So we're going to see here, and there's a lot of things that are making it difficult, more and more difficult. And, one of the things also, and, I don't want to bite the hand that feeds me, like they say, but I'm sorry. The share revenue of Google towards, the share that they take and the share that they give me,
It's always been rather crappy. When you look at the general percentage that usually people get paid through ads on other platforms, it's way different. And through YouTube, Google's taking a really big chunk. So that doesn't help also. And I got to say that, man, it's something. So I'm still continuing. I'm still there, and we'll see what is possible as time goes on. Ideas that I've got that I've talked about in the past and so on. So, anyways, and thanks for everybody that has donated at some point. It's very appreciated. And I'm not ranting to get money or anything. I don't want to. That's not what I want to do here. But just to give you guys an idea of what is YouTube monetization and how it's just really crappy. And hey, I'm glad you like your new LG G6, Alex. It's a great phone. A really great phone. It's getting a free Google Home Assistant. That's cool. That is cool. Yeah, I thought there was there was an offer. There were some offers for that. The Google Assistant with the phone, something like that. So who is in the picture behind me? Oh, this is my mom that died 8 years ago. My sister in the middle. It's my sister that died of cancer, breast cancer, 5 years ago. And to the right, this is my other sister that is still alive and well. And so it's a little family portrait that was taken at my sister in the middle here in Saint Jean Baptiste, which is south of Montreal. So do I think they will show Cortana device working at the May 2nd event or at Build? I don't think May 2nd will have anything to do with any Cortana stuff. I do think that at Build there will be demonstrations of something with Cortana stuff. And by the way, there was news about that Armin Kardon Cortana hub last week. And it does seem that they're working on it. So we'll see. We'll cross our fingers. Could be cool to have something like that. So really nice. So hey, I'm going to say goodbye for now because I'm going to eat a little something. And of course, for those of you that want to join us, Windows Insider Hour will be... yes, I am the one that took the picture. Patrick, that's why I'm not in the picture. My father isn't there because my mom and my dad were divorced, so my mom and my dad were never in the same room when we took pictures. So because they just couldn't stand each other. So but my dad's still alive. My dad is 80. My dad's going to be 87 this year. Still alive for sure. So, hey, take care, everybody. It was nice to have everyone on board. It was nice to see also new faces joining the chat. Really nice to have everyone here. Joel, you're in line getting the Armin Kardon Cortana thingy on the Insider Preview to try it out. Yeah, I'd like that. I really would like that. But there's surprises coming, Grateful Pearls. I can't talk about it because it's stuff that I saw when I went to Microsoft. And by the way, I'm going back to Microsoft in 2 weeks for another full day here in Montreal, and that's pretty cool. And so there are some interesting things coming later this year, Grateful Pearls. They should be announced probably more in the fall. They'll be ready for the Christmas holiday season, for example. So, am I married? Yes.
Married for, in June is going to be 7 years. June 10th. 7 years. Married. So thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Hope, why not join in the Windows Insider Hour, even if you're not totally interested in insider stuff. Same cool gang. You guys will be able to exchange, talk about, and we'll just have a lot of fun. So the Windows Insider Hour is at 6 p.m. Hey, Kirk Weber, 6 p.m. Eastern, in the link that Tim Robinson just posted. That's 2200 hours UTC. It's going to be in an hour and 9 minutes from now. So a little over an hour from now, we will be live on the Windows Insider Hour. So hope you guys join in and have a lot of fun. And thanks everybody for being here. And really cool. You guys and girls are fantastic. Love you all. And heading off the kitchen now to cook myself a little something very quick before I go to get to the Windows Insider Hour. So take care, everybody. Love you all, as usual. And see you in about an hour's time. If you can't make it, see you maybe Thursday from the couch with my nephew Gabriel, 4 p.m. Eastern, 2000 hours UTC. And Gribble Pearls wants a food video. I promise I will make, I'll promise I will make a little surprise video on the channel sometime this week. And even maybe try to do it with Gabriel. So take care, everyone. Always nice to have you here. Don't forget you can send your questions, helpwithyourcomputers@gmail.com. And for those of you that are only here on Tuesdays, have a nice week. Stay safe. Take care. Always fun to have all of you. Bye.